Hey guys, Alexander Straight here with another podcast episode for you. Today I've got Nick Gonzalez out of San Angelo, Texas joining us. He's going to be sharing a little bit about his background, business, entrepreneurship, you name it, he's done it. He's going to share some of his best business tips that he's learned over his career. So, Nick, how you doing today, man?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Appreciate you hopping on the podcast today.
Happy to be here.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, we just met like 30 minutes ago.
We did.
I don't know your story. They don't know your story, so why don't you tell us a little bit about Nick Gonzalez and who you are?
Okay, yeah, so my name's Nick Gonzalez. Grew up in San Angelo, Texas. A lot of people don't know where San Angelo, Texas is. They're like, San Angelo? You mean San Antonio, right? And it's like, no, San Angelo. Far west, or it's like Central West Texas. So grew up there all my life. I've been there. I'm 23 now, still there. Growing up, didn't really like it. Wasn't much to do. But through high school, I started to realize, this is a good boy town. I was happy to be there, and graduating high school, it was a place that I actually did want to stay. And I had friends there, met a church family, started going to church there. I had a bunch of connections there, and then through those connections, I was actually able to kind of get into real estate. And so I started working at a real estate law firm title company for the past few years.
Okay, so majority of your business career has been in the real estate.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Yeah.
But not a realtor specifically?
No, I'm not a licensed realtor. I kind of do the background. So when people buy or sell property, they have to have a bunch of inspections done, research done on the title or on that property to make sure that it closes in good standing. So you're not buying someone's not trying to sell someone else's property. And that's kind of where I came in. I did all that extra research and made sure that everything was good to go for closing to buy. Nice. Buy the property. So that's kind of where I started, and going through that, I've been there about 7 years now, and just working 8 to 5, getting up every day, working, happy. I was succeeding in it. My manager offered me the head position of my department, so by no means was I, slacking or not doing my work, but about 6 months ago, both of my parents ended up passing away, and trying to meet the bills, trying to pay my mother's bills, trying to get the estate settled. I was able to use that real estate experience as far as the law firm side and the legal side of stuff to get through that time, but it didn't help me anymore with my bills. They weren't like, okay, we'll give you a raise because both your parents passed away. That wasn't how it was. Right. So now I found myself working 3 jobs. I can't pay my bills. I'm trying to help out my brother. I have a brother too, trying to get him settled in a place. And I was stuck. I was struggling. My father was a construction worker, a contractor for many years, and so I got into contracting. I know a little bit about this. How can I make some extra money? I'm gonna go find some internet leads for contracting work. Can you hang a TV? Can you fix a window? Can you do some woodwork for me? So I was doing these little odd jobs, but I was still wasting more of my time doing those jobs than the amount of return I was getting on my time. And at that point in time, I couldn't do it anymore. I ended up quitting, and it was like a flip switched in my mind. Like, I'm not made out for 8 to 5 jobs anymore. I loved my real estate job, but actually Friday I quit. It was my last day, and
that's awesome, dude.
I had talked with Jimmy prior to it about life insurance, because when my mother passed, she was the only one to have a life insurance policy. I didn't know anything about life insurance. I'd been in the real estate insurance industry. I knew about real estate, and whenever I learned about her life insurance, that was kind of, it put an end to the hard work, but it made me realize, like, this isn't what I want to do for the rest of my life. How can I help people in the position that I was in? And not only that, how can I help myself along the way where I'm not stuck working an 8 to 5 job? But by all means, that had its place in my life. It was great. It got me established. But I started talking with Jimmy. I helped him out with some work, and I was curious. Hey, my mother passed away. I have this life insurance. Tell me, don't you sell life insurance? So I was kind of getting an idea of that, and it just sparked that ambition in both of us. We're sitting. A 30-minute conversation turned into 3 hours, and then from there we just started. He started telling me about family first life, and that's when I was like, okay, I'll put in my 2 weeks. And I started up, and that's kind of my background.
Hey, I'm definitely sorry to hear about your parents, especially 6 months is still pretty
it's
recent.
Tough, yeah.
So,
thank you.
That's I have both my parents still alive, so I haven't gone through that yet. But it's one of those things that everyone knows at some point.
At some point.
Yeah, at some point, everyone's going to be dealing with death with people close around them.
Mm-hmm.
And that safety blanket, that safety net, whether it's just the financial peace of mind, the mental peace of mind of having that life insurance policy. I mean, what kind of position would you be in right now if you didn't have that policy on your own?
I would be. It's a lot of stress. Having to care for people that you can't afford to care for, and it doesn't knowing like it's not about really how hard you work in a sense. There was this quote I saw on a investment page the other day. It says, being wealthy or being successful isn't about hard work necessarily, because construction workers are hard workers. They're probably the hardest workers in that industry, but that they're not all billionaires. None of them, you could say are billionaires, but it's about how smart you work. And that's kind of what flipped that switch in my mind. It's not always about how hard you work, but when you can put that labor drive, that hard work ethic into a smart thinking, into a smart mindset, that is how you're going to be able to achieve that success that you're looking for. So being in a position where I wasn't able to experience that adversity of losing my parents, or even after the fact, not having a financial dependency from that, it would be a really, really tough spot. One that I couldn't even put into words without somebody actually having to experience that themselves. It's almost one of those things where you can't put it into words. So without that policy, I would be in a really desperate situation. And even then, I don't think I would have talked to Jimmy about insurance at all. It's like, what was the need there? So it was able to kind of catapult me into my own working for myself in a sense, or working for a better company, mm-hmm. or a company that is able to help me propel into my future along with helping other families mm-hmm. too. So it would have been a bad place.
It sounds like that way. It's funny because some people say, well, I found the insurance industry, but it sounds like the insurance industry found you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it was an unfortunate circumstance, but for every negative there's a positive, right? And sounds like the difficulties of losing your family or losing your parents, and being able to turn that into finding a career you could be passionate about, helping others, making sure they're set up for the worst moments of their lives as well.
Yes.
And taking that into the insurance industry, it sounds like it's been a game changer for you, and here you are now about to start in your insurance career. So what are some of your top business parallels, right? Things that you've seen through past experiences mm-hmm. that made you realize that, not only this insurance thing, this could work for me as well. What are some parallels you've seen that kind of struck your fancy?
So the first thing I would say is there's always a risk in everything you do. Whether you want to have that salaried position, your industry could go under. There's always a risk in everything you do. So why not take that risk with a greater reward at the end? Why not take that risk and work towards something where it's going to come down to how hard you work, not how hard somebody else works you for their company. And I think that was one of the kind of parallels there is there's always going to be a risk there. Why not take the risk with the greater reward? Another one of those kind of parallels between the industries was the contracting. I was having to buy leads for contracting work just so I could find contracting work. I wasn't doing door-to-door knocking, trying to find, hey, do you need work done? I was able to find some type of marketing system online, and I was able to plug into there and get their leads. But the leads that for that industry, they weren't paying off. And when I had asked Jimmy and got the information on this, there's leads there, the work is there. You just have to put in the effort to get it done. And like I said, you can work as hard as you can, but if you don't work smart, if you don't work in a smart industry, if you don't work with smart details when you do your work, then you're going to struggle. It's going to be a hard road. And so that's a parallel that I can see is more beneficial with Family First Life. And I'm sure there's many more, like you said, being new in this Family First Life industry, life insurance, I'm sure over the course of the next few years, I'll be able to catch on to the other parallels and give you a more detailed answer as time goes on.
Mm-hmm. But that's good though, because even you're brand new, you're still studying for a license, right?
Yes.
Okay, so for those who don't know, if you're watching this, we work at an insurance industry, Family First Life, and we've both have diverse business backgrounds. We pay for his licensing material, something that we do as a company. But having that kind of business experience allows you to step into an opportunity where you see yourself having a long-term fit. Because so many people bounce around or they're pulled one direction or another, but things happen for a reason.
Right.
And there's a reason that you got connected to Jimmy through the insurance space with everything going on in your life, and there's a reason you're here today.
Right.
And you see that as a way to kind of propel yourself forward into a career you could really be passionate about.
Right.
So that's good, man. That's good. What are your goals over the next 6 to 18 months? What are you kind of hoping that this Family First Life Insurance thing can do for you?
I'm hungry. I want to grind. I want to put in the work now. Being free, my time. I was so concerned. I didn't have enough time. I was working 3 jobs just to try to meet the bills, meet my bills, meet the extra expenses that have accrued over the last 6 months. And there's no time. I've been plugged into the licensing program trying to get licensed, but yet I can't find the time to actually do the lessons, and that was part of my 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 job. When am I going to find time? It's become the point where the time that I spend there is actually more valuable than the amount I was making at that moment. So now that I've made the decision, I'm going all in. This is something I want to be successful at, take the risk, overcome the risk, and I'll be able to put in the work now in something that I'm passionate about, something that I can see going a long ways, not only for my life, but for other families out there that may be in certain situations that I'm in. But I'm hungry. I'm free now as far as my time goes. I want to get into it, and I just want to grind and grow like Jimmy was saying, and like I've stated, the San Angelo, it's not a huge city, but it's growing. And being in the real estate, I was able to see the housing market jump, and the housing market was doing so well that people were overbidding listing prices just because the amount of people moving into Texas and even in the San Angelo area. So it's a growing city. It's going to continue to grow. And unfortunately, we can't all avoid death. We don't get to pick when we die, but we can pick to choose to protect our loved ones, and we can pick when we protect our loved ones. And that's something that I want to really broadcast to my community in San Angelo as this kind of pioneer insurance in my city, so to speak. So that's what I want. I want to get after it and just really see how many people we can help, and how big we can get just within the next year.
Dude, I love your passion, bro. Like, you don't have a single phone script in front of you. You haven't had any insurance training. And I can already tell you you're going to kill it, because that passion is transferable and people can feel that energy.
Right.
I have no doubt you're going to step into this thing and absolutely dominate, bro.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
If somebody wanted to get in touch with you, whether it was to join you in part of your agency or they just related to your story, what's the best way for them to reach you?
So my name is Nick Gonzalez, and I'm in San Angelo. My phone number is 325-650-5085. So like Jimmy had said, call, text. You can text me at 3 a.m. if you want to, and I'll reply when I see it. And same with the call. Leave a voicemail if you call. There's a lot of phone calls happening, so I do check all my voicemails if it's not answered the first time, and I will get back to voicemails if the call is missed. But call, text anytime, and I'll be happy to talk with you, and we'll see where we can help.
Awesome. Well, hey guys, that was Nick Gonzalez talking a little bit about business, entrepreneurship, and why he chose the insurance industry. So appreciate you tuning into this. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for more content just like this. And you guys have a great rest of your day.
Awesome.
Bye, bro.
Thank you.